please be careful. And you can see converging winds will still occur in the northern part of Texas and around this warm front. So it's going to be a short wave, an elongated short wave will be dropping into the northern plains, and this will create a chance of wet weather going into midday. Chicago, for lunch plans, you're looking good. If you've got a business meeting, say a block or two away from where you work, you're just going to walk there. Looks good. How about the afternoon? The drive home to Detroit looks A-OK. If you're going to Ann Arbor toward the west, looks okay as far as the weather's concerned. New York City, you're looking fine. Getting into Hartford, New Haven, if you work in insurance, of course, Hartford, New Haven being a big insurance metro area, looks like you'll be looking at your office window at some sunshine. Wet weather in the south. We've seen some strong weather around Meridian, Mississippi right now this evening. WeatherScope. Well, what has been a very hot Sunday is ending with a bang from the Ohio River Valley into the Mid-Atlantic region as powerful storms roll through the area. Hello, I'm Bob Stokes.
And I'm Christina Abernathy. The severe weather tops this edition of WeatherScope. And for the latest, we go to Mike Seidel in the Forecast Center. Mike?
And severe weather continues this evening in the Mid-Atlantic back through the Ohio Valley. However, not a whole lot of severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. Things are quieting down as far as warnings go, but still a lot of heavy rain and gusty winds moving through a wide area. And the problem we've seen today so far with the rainfall is that the storms are moving over the same areas. This is what we call training, and that leads to a lot of rain in specific areas. Also a lot of heat today leading to the storms. 105 for you in National Airport in Washington, and that's the warmest it's been since 1936 and 1 degree off the all-time record high in D.C. Let's show you what's going on from the satellite perspective. And the storms blowing up with that afternoon heating now into this evening, and the worst weather continues in Maryland, Delaware, and Northern Virginia, right in this area. The front bows back like this, and if you're north of this front, you're in pretty good shape. For instance, New York City, you may get some rain, some thunder and lightning later on tonight, but we do not expect any problems like you had yesterday. So rest assured, you may hear some thunder and lightning, but I would not count on any of the dangerous weather we had yesterday, which led to 2 serious injuries and a fatality in the metro area. A lot of storms, too, moving through Ohio, and the flash flooding threat there is highest. In fact, flash flood watches cover a wide area of Ohio, south of the Turnpike, south of I-70, rather, Columbus back towards Cincinnati, and all of you in West Virginia and into western Maryland under a flash flood watch tonight. We'll check those warnings in a minute. Otherwise, severe weather threat continues, and these are the severe thunderstorm watches from the Storm Prediction Center. Still including the Philadelphia area, Atlantic City, the eastern shore of Maryland and Delaware, and over towards D.C., Baltimore, Annapolis, and parts of the northern Shenandoah Valley. Storms continuing to go gangbusters right now. In fact, they're continuing to cross the Chesapeake Bay into the eastern shore, basically in the northern and central sections of the eastern shore. Here's the earlier line, which is now moving out over the Atlantic. The Gulf Stream waters and weakening. And again, the front is in this area, so it's Philadelphia and south along the I-95 corridor where the worst weather has been this evening, moving across the Chesapeake Bay. Now, showers and thunderstorms have led to some rapid cooling. We mentioned the record heat in Washington. Well, with the rainfall, the temperature fell from 105 back into the 80s very, very quickly, and then back into the upper 70s. So the rain is certainly bringing some relief from the heat, also some at least temporary relief from the very dry summer. But unfortunately, we're getting some high winds out west of Baltimore and Eldersburg and Carroll County, 69-mile-an-hour winds. The storm's continuing now on the eastern shore of Maryland and Delaware, right around Easton and Talbot County, up towards, the Y Mills area, Queen Anne's County, and parts of Caroline County. Look out, these storms continuing to move east over towards Seaford and Greenwood, Delaware in the next half an hour or so. Look at all this heavy weather now coming right back into the D.C. area, Arlington, Alexandria, and then crossing the river over into Charles County and PG County in Maryland. Again, another round of very serious storms. We're talking about a lot of rainfall and wind gusts which could exceed 50, even 60 miles an hour as they continue to track east over some of the same areas. That's why we're concerned with flash flooding. Switching north now, New York again, you're north of that front, you're in the clear, but we have some pretty decent storms there on the radar. Decent for the rain, not too decent for the risk of some severe weather. To look out around the Philadelphia area, especially in Bucks County, points north up towards Trenton and out towards Norristown as the storms continue to move east. Much like we saw late last night, these will cross the river and move into parts of South Jersey around Cherry Hill and Pennsauken and those areas. And also we have flash flooding continuing in several counties in Ohio, southern Perry County, and around the Wilmington, Ohio area in Clinton County. You've picked up 1.5 inches of rain in an hour, so watch out in those counties as the rain continues. And we'll continue our update right here from the Forecast Center as we continue here on the Weather Channel this evening. Now let's check in on the rest of the storms in the rest of the country. Here's Bob Stokes.
We're going to do that. Thank you very much, Mike. You've also had some stormy weather today in parts of the west, and it's been a wet Sunday for some of you in the southern plains. In Tulsa, your morning was soaking wet, but it turned out to be a pretty nice day. Strong thunderstorms moved through this part of Oklahoma, but the worst of it was over by mid-morning. You had about 1/2 inch of rain, but then the sun came out and temperatures warmed into the 80s. Well, what's happening now? Well, you can see the wet weather occurring in the southeast. We've also had some wet weather occurring in Oklahoma, some strong storms, but much of the southeastern storms have been dying down quite a bit. You can see some activity across the Jacksonville area, and you can see across I-20 in Alabama, so please take care, as well as along Meridian, Mississippi, where the storms have tapered off quite a bit, because as the sun sets and you lose the energy due to the daytime heating, well, then the storms begin to die down. La Paz County in Arizona, you remain under a flash flood warning right now. Heavy rains due to the monsoonal flow has been coming in. You can see to the southeast of Albuquerque. Also some wet weather along the Arizona-New Mexico border. Gallup getting wet presently, so be careful along I-10. As we travel northward, you can see the Rockies getting a soaking, at least around Cheyenne. We've seen some wet weather and some strong thunderstorms developing, and those have died down quite a bit as well. I-40 motorists, please take care on your vacation travels, and the current map does show still an area of wet weather across Texas and the Lake Texoma area. This frontal system producing converging winds here. Therefore, we still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the southeastern part of Archer County as well as northern Young County in Texas.
record high set 2 years ago. So far, the low has been 77. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:15. Outside right now at Philly International, 85 degrees, humidity 64%. Barometers falling, the winds are calm, and we've picked up almost a ½ inch of rain officially at Philly International. Let's take a look at radar right now. There's a line of some pretty heavy storms that moved through Philadelphia earlier this evening. You can see they've pushed off into western New Jersey. Some strong storms as well down in Sussex County in Delaware, but there's more rain out to the west. Here's a little clearing where Joyce will be able to get to her car, but then there's more showers and storms out to the west, and a few of these could have torrential downpours and some small hail. But they are diminishing in intensity because they no longer have the sun to fuel them with energy. You can see how they've started to diminish, especially down to the south and out to the west of us. But here's the actual front, so we do have quite a bit more rain to get through. The good news is severe weather has lessened. Let's take a look at the satellite right now. You can see how those storms developed, progressed over the Tennessee Valley, and started to head into Philadelphia. The northeast satellite will show you there is some clearing back behind these storms, well back here in parts of Michigan and Wisconsin. And yes, we will eventually start to see some clearing here, maybe as early as late tomorrow.
Tonight turns stormy.
Thunderstorms and heavy rain ripped through the area for the second night in a row.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Lake.
And I'm Siani Lee.
And our top story tonight, thunderstorms pound the area once again. News 10 on the scene in the Overbrook section of Philadelphia, where the storm brought down a tree that then ripped down some power lines. A potentially dangerous situation as heavy rain and lightning flashes continue while crews try to clear the area. Certainly not a good time to be outside tonight unless you had no choice. This was the stormy scene in Haverford Township, Delaware County, just a short while ago tonight. Plenty of rain on the ground. And the lightning made for a spectacular show in the sky tonight. Look closely, that small light in the picture is actually an airplane that was flying through the storm tonight as lightning sparked all around it. Now for more now on tonight's storms, News 10's Glenn Hurricane Schwartz is joining us live from the Weather Center. Glenn.
Yeah, a spectacular show tonight, and some new reports of damage in Springfield, Delaware County. Trees down and power out to a significant amount of the area. Let's take a look. We still have a severe thunderstorm watch for part of the area. Pennsylvania is not included anymore, but South Jersey and much of Delaware still there until midnight, but the heaviest storms have gone by. There we are at about the news time at 6:15 with the heaviest storms down by Baltimore and Washington. Then you can see there's the storm in Delaware County, moved through the Philadelphia area, and now it's just about offshore. Heavy thunderstorms down in southern Delaware, but we get a break, at least for a little while. There are more storms in western Pennsylvania. We'll show them to you on radar, but the good news is for much of us, the heat is out of here. We'll talk more about that and what's ahead for the next 5 days in a few minutes. Siani?
All right, thanks, Glenn. Look forward to that. Well, the storm knocked out power to several homes in the Philadelphia area. PECO Energy reports that nearly 19,000 people are in the dark tonight. Most of the outages are in North Philadelphia and Delaware County, and there are also scattered outages in Montgomery, Chester, and Bucks
The 5200 block of Howard Street in Olney. A family of 5 was sitting out on their porch when it started to rain, and they had to go inside.
As soon as we came in, the lightning had flashed and the thunder and everything, and it just was a big boom. And when I came outside, that's what happened to, the tree. We had the tree reported for 3 years, and I just called them a couple of weeks ago. They came and put an X out on the tree, and they still didn't knock it down. So this is the damage that happened to my house because they didn't knock it down when they were supposed to knock it down.
And in that weather-related incident, luckily no one was hurt.
Officials expected reports of accidents, downed trees, flooding, and other property damage. Here on the borderline between Philadelphia and Montgomery County, the worst of the thunderous storm lasted only 10 minutes, but that was long enough. And since that time, we have seen more lightning, but I'm glad to say here at the Art Museum in Philadelphia, we've seen the last of the worst of the storm. We hope we've seen the last of the worst of the clouds, the thunder, and the lightning, but we're keeping our fingers crossed. As Tom Lemaine said a short while ago, we might expect more before the night is over. Beverly, back to you.
area. It passed very close to the 29 Palms Marine Combat Center. No damage or injuries reported.
Stone Harbor Elementary in Stone Harbor, right near the shore, just a couple blocks off the beach. 97 degrees for the high temperature today. Atlantic City Marina set a record with 97, and that's just the temperature. The heat index in both places was about 110 to 115. 75 degrees there now with the heat index of 79, humidity 88%, and a southwest wind. Today's high officially at the airport, 94. We told you wouldn't be setting another record today, and it wouldn't be quite as hot. It's still way above normal for the high and for the low. The record 96 degrees in 1995. Bye-bye to the heat. It is not in the 80s anywhere, 68 in the Poconos, and the rain cooled everybody off. Now, this is a different type of satellite picture. You see the bright reds will show you the higher cloud tops, and you can see the thunderstorms. This is from earlier today. You can see it gets bright red and then fades a little bit. This is one big thunderstorm that moved over Philadelphia, a bigger one over Washington, but you see there's still more to come. Pittsburgh, back through Ohio, this is all moving to the east, so this is not the end of it just because the storms have moved through. You can see scattered storms, there it is, right offshore, but another patch of some steady rain and some heavier showers and thunderstorms. As we close in over the last 6 hours or so, you can see there's the line. Moved right into the Philadelphia area, right across us, and then towards central Jersey, now offshore, and we are left with not much, at least for a little while, but there's still more back here. We have to get this area in Ohio past us before we can call the all clear, because this area low pressure that's causing all that rain is still a long way away. That's going to come right on top of us, as you'll see. by the morning, and even some rain behind the front. So we wait until the morning hours. It still could be raining for the morning.
Of course, tonight's thunderstorms upstage the fact that we've had some pretty high temperatures around here. How high? Well, we had some record heat. Yesterday's high temperature in Philadelphia went up to 98 degrees, and that broke the record set back in 1938. Today's high was 94, and it was just 2 degrees short of the record set in 1995, the year of those 50 or better days of 90-degree temperatures, if you remember that. Now, today in Atlantic City, it went up to 97 degrees, and that, friends, broke an 87-year-old record. When you set a record in Atlantic City, that's really doing something. That was on the shore. It got up to 97 degrees. What's up ahead? Let's look to the west. By the time you get to Chicago, St. Louis, and Kansas City, the rain is over. As you head toward the southwest, nothing happening out there either. A few scattered thunderstorms in the desert southwest. Nothing in Texas. New Orleans is pretty clear. A few scattered showers in central Florida, and that's about it. As we get up to our region, here's where the big action is, and it's all being caused by a frontal system that's really going to bring the temperatures down and bring some pretty decent weather around here for the next couple of days. It is slowly making its way through western Pennsylvania right now and bringing with it its associated rain and thunderstorms. Earlier this afternoon, they started to pop up once again, and this time they moved right into the Philadelphia region tonight. Just before 9 o'clock, they started developing. And our storm tracker right now shows you where the main storms are right now, just now moving out of eastern Burlington County and heading toward Ocean County. There's really no heavy weather back here so far. You can see just some light rain showers. Here's what it looked like as those showers and thunderstorms came through earlier tonight, building from the west and then coming right through the metropolitan area. You can see now moving offshore. Heavier rains are still falling down in Sussex County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Sussex County in Delaware, the state of Delaware. Upstream, we're not out of the woods yet, but I think the heavier stuff has all passed to the east. But you can see there's still some stuff around the Pittsburgh and eastern Ohio area that still has to make its way through the evening tonight. So into the morning hours, we're still going to be left with some showers and possibly thunderstorms. Current temperatures right now, look at the difference tomorrow. Not going to be anywhere above 80 in New York, 79 degrees in Boston. Around here, our current temperatures range from 69 up in the Poconos to 79 degrees along Jersey Shore. Still 84 up in Williamstown. Right now, we're looking at 76 for a high in Brigantine tomorrow. 73 in Cape May. Winds will be out of the northwest along the beaches.
Didn't we, as the thunderstorms came across? This is in Evesham Township, New Jersey. Our high in Philadelphia today was 94 degrees, and that happened just before 5 o'clock. And that's not the record. That's one shy of the record of 95. Right now, 70 degrees outside. The humidity way up there. Barometer steady. West wind at 8. Ocean temps 74. Low 70s across the area at this hour. The cooler air has begun to arrive. Cloudy with another...